Hello everyone and welcome to a draft video with Brian Kibler here at StarCityGames.com. I'm doing a cube draft. I found it difficult to find opponents in Modern, which is what I was trying to do, but did not really go through very well. People don't seem to be playing a lot of Modern right now with the various draft queues online, and with version 4 not the most popular thing. So I'm playing some Holiday Cube. What Holiday is, I don't know. But anyway, so look at this pack. Let's grow these. The cards that are most exciting here are the Land and the Signet to me. Lotus Cobra is also a card I like a lot. There's fetch lands and acceleration is generally pretty good. I'm a big fan of green decks, so when I draft Cube, I tend to lean toward those. I'm gonna grab this Lotus Cobra. Lotus Cobra is a sweet card and can go a lot of directions that are pretty exciting. And this is a card that goes really well with it. Oracle of Moldiah is very sweet. Be able to ramp into it with Lotus Cobra and play it with Lotus Cobra. It's like I'm playing that block deck. There's also a Simic Signet in this pack, which maybe it'll come back, probably not if people are paying a lot of attention. But I think I'm gonna take Oracle of Moldiah. There's Trigon Predator too, which is pretty powerful in a Signet heavy cube. So we're gonna go this direction. Now Sylvan Caryatid, more mana acceleration. I like it. There's a Vraska, which is possibly a cool card to come back. There's a Venser who has no art. I don't know why, but here we can grow this too. All the little settings on Magic Online. Well, I can't drag. Okay, there. Okay. All right. So I think I want to take Caryatid. The green mana ramp is worse in a cube that has power and stuff in it, but it's still good. So I'm gonna be my usual self, an honest man with honest creatures, ramping up with my creature mana and take this Sylvan Caryatid. Mana fixing plus mana ramp is pretty powerful too. So, and here there's a Harmonize, which is pretty sweet. There's also some fetch lands. I like the Wooded Foothills. It is very good with Cobra and can give me access to additional colors of mana. Awesome with both Cobra and Oracle in terms of giving me extra shots at land with Oracle, and obviously as a double mana source with Cobra. So we're going to grab a Wooded Foothills here. I hope the Harmonize comes back. It's the sort of card that goes great into a lot of the ramp green decks. I hope this is recording properly because I have no idea if Magic Online is, giving me some weird recording. Ooh, gee, a Tree Speaker. Tree Speaker is another great mana source, mana ramp card. It's one of the better ones. It's basically like a Soul Ring creature. So we're getting a ton of awesome ramp. I love to take this Breeding Pool too. And what is with these Planeswalkers just having magic symbols instead of art? What's the deal? Is that a new feature of 4.0? All right, we're gonna take Tree Speaker. Your sideboard is where you put cards you don't want in your main deck. 40 card decks typically contain 17 lands and 23 spells, about 15 of which are creatures. Thanks for the tips. Here, I like Stomp Howler. Show and Tell is kind of sweet, but I'm more of a. It looks like I'm going to be like a kind of an honest ramp deck. We don't necessarily have blue as our second color. I like Stomp Howler a lot. As a way to blow up artifact mana in the cubes that have signets and stuff. I think that this card is a lot better than it is in a lot of other versions. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. I'd love to see that Trigon Predator come back. We can just be a hateful anti-artifact blue-green tempo ramp deck. But this is in a normal cube. This deck so far would be pretty incredible. But with the power in the cube, it gets a lot different. It is less exciting, but still the type of deck that I want to play. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. So many sweet ramp cards. I'd love to see Tooth and Nail. Tooth and Nail is a card that I'm a big fan of. All right, we're at 0, waiting for play to pick a card. Am I disconnected? Am I crashing? What's going on? It's been stuck at 0 for a while. Hello? Is this thing on? Why is this? Why are we frozen? Hello, Magic Online. It's been like a minute. I got a green thing next to me. Alright, there we go. It just, for some reason, took forever. Polukranos is interesting. Bayou is also sweet. I'm inclined to take Bayou just because I have a Wooded Foothills and it gives me a lot more flexibility in terms of what I'm actually going to do. Polukranos is like pretty replaceable, whereas Bayou is not. So we're going to take Bayou. Alright, Lumberjack is pretty sweet in terms of ramping up to stuff. Vigilante is also pretty sweet in the vein of blowing up people's artifacts. I'm going to go ahead and take Vigilante. Right now it's not it looks like, you know, we're not necessarily going to be a Lumberjack deck. We already have a lot of ramp stuff anyway. Maybe we just want Lumberjack because he's just so powerful, but we have a Wooded Foothills too. He's probably better than a Vigilante. He has more overall upside taking the Lumberjack. We give ourselves, you know, Lumberjack plus all this stuff for ramp, and we can do some big things. So here, I kind of want to take Bloodgift Demon. Nothing here is particularly exciting. We could take Null Rod. Null Rod's kind of interesting as well. If we do run into a deck with like a bunch of artifact mana and stuff. Probably better than Bloodgift Demon, actually. I'm going to take the Null Rod. Get a sweet Cyborg card. Really, really hate on those decks. You think you're all fancy with your Lotus Petals and all that jazz? Well, I got a Lotus Cobra, buddy. And Null Rod you. Excuse me, sneezing. And we're again sitting here at 0-0-0. Alright. Broodmate Dragon is pretty powerful. Boon Satyr is not really the sort of card that I'm particularly looking for this deck. Right now we have a Lumberjack and a Bayou and a Wooded Foothills, which makes Broodmate fairly attractive. So I'm going to take Broodmate. We also have Lotus Cobra Caryatid, so we have a lot of tools to use our manas, to generate manas. And Vraska came back. That's a pretty sweet one. So maybe Lumberjack ends up in our deck, maybe not. But we can certainly play Broodmate regardless. Very easy on our manas. And yes, I'm shuffling cards while I'm doing this. If you hear that flicking sound, it's a compulsion. Yavimaya Coast as a possible splash tool. Why is this taking so long? You'd think that these would, you know, these timers would mean something. Thragdad. Alright, I'll take the Thragfather. My deck is fairly great. I know it's actually good, but it's great. Maybe I'll splash this Phyrexian Obliterator. I don't want to play against it, that's for sure. There was an Urborg that we missed. Ooh. Dragmangler. A little more aggressive. Probably not going to be in our deck. Obliterator, also probably not going to be in our deck. Alright, here, Elvish, ooh, a Sword of Body and Mind. Sword of Body and Mind versus Elvish Mystic. basically. There's Mana Vault as well. I mean, Sword of Body and Mind is one of those cards that, like, if you connect with it, you almost always, you know, you very often win. Because you can deck your opponent. I feel like my deck... I mean, this pack has Mana Vault, Arbor Elf, and Elvish Mystic. Right now, I have a lot of ramp effects. I have a reasonable number of just, like, mana creatures that Sword of Body and Mind is fairly great on, too. This is a tough pick. You know, I think that there's arguments to be made for any of Mana Vault, Elvish Mystic, and Sword of Body and Mind. I think I want to take Sword of Body and Mind because I have, well, actually, I don't have that many ramp cards so far. I basically have Cobra, Carius, Hidden Tree Speaker, and Sword of Body and Mind is I'm only really able to equip a couple of those with it. I'm gonna take Elvish Mystic. I think that's very, very questionable. It's like, I think it's a very big, you know, I could definitely see an argument for taking Sword. I think that Sword is you know, a very, very powerful card. I think it's much less powerful as the cube gets more powerful, because people aren't necessarily just playing sort of fair creature decks that are running into each other where that sort of thing is able to be as dominant. There's also a lot more artifact removal because people play a lot more of it in general because of stuff like the signets and whatnot. Because, you know, there's more of that to kill, so you got to kill it. Ooh, there's a Shiro in this pack, but unfortunately I can't take Shiro because I'm already green. Too green for Shiro. I'm gonna take Woodfall Primus because Woodfall Primus is excellent. Court of Calling is interesting, but I don't think what my deck wants right now. I can see taking Court of Calling if it came back. Woodfall Primus is just too good to pass up, though. And here we have not really anything for my deck. This is actually a really bad pack for me. There's a Titan that I could, you know, maybe try and splash. There's a Flooded Strand, which doesn't get anything. There's literally... I mean, I guess I could take Sulphurous Springs. If I'm going to play Broodmate Dragon and Vraska, Sulphurous Springs is a fine card to go in my deck. So, Broodmate Dragon is, you know, in my green deck, Sulphurous Springs is a fine card for it. So, I guess I'll take Sulphurous Springs from this pack. So, it's not totally a blank for me. Ooh, I wish I love Edric. I love Edric so much. This card is super powerful. But unfortunately not for my deck right now. Here, Consuming Vapors and Liliana. Liliana is not, I don't think, is really super awesome in my deck. Maybe it is. Maybe Liliana is fairly great. I'm more, you know, Liliana allows me, you know, if I ramp out a Liliana, you know, can obviously provide a lot of card advantage. But I think this is one of the weaker planeswalkers pretty clearly. So I kind of want to just take Blood Crypt and help my mana. It allows me to get black or red with my Wooded Foothills, so I can basically do whatever I want with my mana. So I'm going to take Blood Crypt. Leaves me more open to flexible picks as we go. Demonic Tutor. Demonic Tutor is very exciting. There's actually also just a lot of great cards. There's also a Strip Mine. Jeez, this pack is juiced. Master of the Wild Hunt, Golgaria's Signet, Scavenging Ooze, Demonic Tutor. I mean, I think I pretty clearly take Demonic Tutor, but I would love to get another card out of this pack. Alright, here we have Natural Order. Alright, I think it's a pretty clear pick. There's Natural Order to get Woodfall Primus, Broodmate Dragon, whatever. This is going to be great in my deck. It also makes the Elvish Mystic pick a lot better, because if I had, you know, random Sword or something, I have fewer cheap green creatures to both ramp me and to sacrifice to Natural Order. So I'm going to take it. Alright, this can go to the sideboard, so can this. You can probably go to the sideboard too, or Slumberjack, but maybe. Oh, this is not well organized. Why? Why did they go across? Alright. What else we got here? Alright, this pack we have Ravenous Baboons or Flame Tongue Kavu, both of which are playable. Rakdos Carnarium isn't terrible. I feel like I already have a lot of ramp ramp stuff. Carnarium is basically, you know, a value card that allows you to it both sort of fixes your mana and gives you, you know, 2 lands for the price of 1. My inclination is that I just want to take Flame Tongue Kavu. I can pretty easily cast it. My deck could actually use some form of removal, so I'm going to take Flame Tongue Kavu. Here we have, there's a Knight of the Reliquary, but I can't use it. That's very unfortunate. I kind of want just Strangleroot Geist. It's not particularly good in my deck. It's a decent blocker against people who are actually playing the aggressive, you know, aggressive red decks. I can sacrifice it to Natural Order, and, you know, potentially I'll end up with other synergies with it. If I end up with, like, you know, Green Sun Zenith or something. Skinrender isn't bad either, though. Maybe Skinrender is a better card for my deck. I already have 4 cheap creatures. All right, maybe we take a Skinrender. We can be like, we're kind of like a rock deck with, you know, value cards and then sort of the combo element of Natural Order. And Skinrender fits pretty well into a rock style strategy. All right, Yavimako, you're on the sideboard. Here we have Arbor Elf. Arbor Elf came back. Wow. Shieldred is pretty attractive too, as is Bone Shredder, but I don't think Arbor Elf is nearly as replaceable. So I have a lot of mana ramp now. I definitely like where I'm at. Arbor Elf with Bayou is pretty nice too, because it can actually get me double black. Come on, let's go. Falconwrath Aristocrat. It's a beatdown card. Plateau. I can search for that with Wooded Foothills. I guess I can take Aristocrat. I might sideboard an Aristocrat against some decks. Probably don't want to play it in my main deck, but certainly is an option. Restock is interesting. Just as a sort of value card. Stillmoon Cavalier is a pretty powerful card against aggressive white decks. Maybe I just want to take this Cavalier. Restock I don't think is a card that I'm going to want to play. My deck doesn't really have, you know, cheap spells. It's what Restock is best with. I'm going to take a Cavalier as a sideboard card. Consuming Vapors is pretty good. Good for the rock strategy. We don't have any 3-cast and spells right now in our main deck. Actual 0. Our rock deck's probably not that good against any of these storm type decks. We could use some discard. I'd love to like pick up a Thoughtseize or something, or a Duress. We did just pass up Stunted Growth, but I don't think Stunted Growth is particularly good. Dreadbore or Master of the Wild Hunt. Jeez. We have a lot of 4s already. Master of the Wild Hunt is just really powerful. So is this. So we don't really have much in the way of like actual cheap interaction. We have a lot of stuff sort of in the middle of the curve. Oh god, well it gave me Dreadbore. Okay, well I was gonna take that anyway, so thanks. But jeez. I'm glad that worked out how I wanted to. I didn't just randomly end up with, you know, the wrong card. All right, last pack. We're definitely looking for. We don't really have much in the way of like awesome threats. We have a few. Oh god, I gotta sneeze. I'd love like a Tooth and Nail. I'd love a Avenger of Zendikar. What do we got? Gristlebrand, Kozilek. Gristlebrand and Kozilek and Bloodstained Mire. I feel like I can actually cast Kozilek easier than I can cast Gristlebrand because I have access to more green mana than I do a ton of black mana. Gristlebrand's probably I can cast Gristlebrand. I can build my deck in such a way that casting Gristlebrand is reasonable, especially if I don't play Flametongue Kavu. I think Gristlebrand is a more powerful card than Kozilek, so I think we're gonna take this Gristlebrand. That's a big fatty we can ramp out. And now there's another sword. Ooh, Xenaghost, an Avenger Zendikar. Oh, a Mox. We're taking Mox Jet. Wow, this pack is so good. I want everything. I mean, we're gonna take Mox Jet because it's Mox Jet, but wow, I love Xenaghost in a deck like this. It's so good at ramping out like your big stuff. It's just really powerful. There's Green Sun Zenith, which is really powerful in my deck. There's Avenger Zendikar, which is a card that I would have loved to have picked. There's Thrun, so I'm gonna get something good back, and I'm taking a Mox Jet. So this pack has Emrakul, which is not really good in our deck. There's Verdant Catacombs. Verdant Catacombs is great. We have both the Lotus Cobra, and it's great for fixing our mana, so I'm gonna take that. Maybe that Bloodstained Mire comes back. That would be also glorious because our deck would fit that very well. So Verdant Catacombs is awesome. And here we have Terastodon, Tooth and Nail, Genesis Wave. Holy shiza. Well, I want to take Tooth and Nail. Tooth and Nail is just so powerful in my deck. Tooth and Nail out Woodfall Primus Gristlebrand. This card's just super powerful. I don't think I need another gigantic monster like Terastodon. These are, Terastodon and Woodfall Primus are fairly interchangeable, and I think Primus is better. But Tooth and Nail adds an element that you really can't match, so I'm going to take the Tooth and Nail. And wow, more action. Garruk. I think I want Wild Speaker. I think I want Garruk Wild Speaker because of the ramp effect. Be able to untap 2 lands. While this guy is more powerful in the abstract, being able to untap 2 lands allows me to cast my giant monsters more effectively. So I think I want to take this Garruk. Being able to play him early and then just ramp out a huge fatty, I think is really good. So we're going to take Garruk Wildspeaker. He of the Lack of Art. So Flametongue's definitely going to the sideboard. We may be playing Skinrender. Probably still playing Dreadbore. Maybe we're not even playing red. Probably, though. We have Blood Crypt, Sulphurous Springs, Wooded Foothills. It's basically a free-roll. We still need some more spells, though. Our deck is a lot. We have a lot of slots spent on mana right now. I mean, there's a number of things in our sideboard that we can play, but I would prefer to be playing some more. I'd love to get some more ramp spells. At this point, ramp becomes a lot more valuable to us because we have Tooth and Nail and Gristlebrand, Woodfall Primus. Geez, another Garruk. This seems pretty great. It's both just really powerful as a card. As with the plus ability, and also with the minus ability, just putting Woodfall Primus in the play is really powerful. I'm gonna grab Garruk. That does not go there. That goes over here. I don't know if you know how math works, client, but you put a 5 on top of a 6. But yeah, we still have room for some spells. I'd love for them to be more cheap spells. We have a lot of expensive stuff. I'd love to have more cheap ramp. We're obviously not going to see a Soul Ring or something. I don't know if Wall of Roots is in the cube. I'd love a Wall of Roots. Come on. Come on. See, it just Snap gave me a card, and now I'm just waiting for someone else. What's going on? I don't understand why they show you who is in your draft and where they are next to you. Holy channel. Channel is insane. Channel out, like, Woodfall Primus. I guess channel Woodfall Primus isn't really that good, but channeling out Tooth and Nail is great. Channeling out Garrick is great. I'm going to take this channel. It does make me wish I had an Eldrazi, because you can actually just play them like turn 2, but turn 4 channel Tooth and Nail, or turn 3 channel Tooth and Nail off of a mana creature is very powerful. Gaia's Cradle? Oh my god, this card is great in my deck. I have a bunch of mana creatures. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I still have room for spells in my deck. And Toxic Deluge is a pretty decent spell. Don't think I want a Chandra. I have nothing to copy. Toxic Deluge is like not a great card. It's maybe just a card I want in my sideboard. I think I might play Null Rod in my main deck if it continues to look like this, because I have literally nothing. I guess I have a Mox Jet, but I think I'm gonna take this Toxic Deluge. It's good against aggressive decks. It's a 3 casting cost card, which I don't have yet, so fill in a hole. And couple last cards. Green Sun. Oh god, there's like any card I want. Green Sun Zenith or Xenagos. I think I want Green Sun Zenith because I can Green Sun for mana creatures. Xenagos is like super powerful, but I feel like I want more just stuff to do early because I have a lot of expensive stuff already. Maybe just a Rakdos Signet. Maybe Rakdos Signet is better than Green Sun Zenith. Probably not, because Green Sun Zenith can get me any of these, including like Caryatid. Oh, what did it give me? Oh, thank God it gave me Green Sun Zenith. I always forget about actually clicking to save. Did I actually click it? I hope I clicked it, and I haven't just gotten insanely lucky and it gives me the right card each time. And here, Gruul Turf Regrowth. I don't think as much I want to regrow. Maybe. I already have like a ton of lands. If I actually, it's possible I want another spell in my deck. I don't think I want a Gruul Turf, so. Genesis Wave. I can play that. Not clear I want to, but I could. Channel Genesis Wave. That'll be sweet. The text on these cards looks so weird. I'm gonna play like turn 1, Mox land. Ooh, a Fauna Shaman. Fauna Shaman is actually pretty good in my deck, I think. Maybe it's not good. Diabolic Edict. Do I want Diabolic Edict? Yeah, Edict's probably pretty good. I don't think I want a Fauna Shaman. I think just some sort of cheap interaction is probably better. Though Fauna Shaman may have been better. I have a bunch of reasonable utility creatures and big expensive creatures that I could discard and get like mana creatures. But Diabolic Edict is a reasonable card too. And Treetop Village or Genesis. I don't really want either of these cards. I guess I'll take Treetop Village. Maybe I'll play Treetop Village. I have a lot of mana creatures. It makes Treetop Village wanting to ramp into things. I guess I don't really have stuff to ramp into like 1 to 3, so it's less of an issue. But yeah, turn 1 Mox land Sylvan Caryatid to turn 2 channel Tooth and Nail for Woodfall Primus Gristlebrand. Your turn. That's my plan. Alright, waiting for all players in the tournament to finish drafting. Deck building will begin shortly. Alright. I don't understand why it goes like this. Like, why is my sideboard up here and my main deck down here? And what is this? Can I not? What is going on here? Is this, what is this line? I don't understand what's going on. Why is there this big blank spot if I scroll it up? How if I scroll all the way down, what happens? Okay, it's just like that. It's fine. Alright, well, I think we're obviously not playing a Loam Lion in our deck. Let's make these bigger. What happens if I make them really big? Can't see them. Okay, cool. Let's make them this big, so they're the whole size of the screen. So I have I have 7 lands and a Mox Jet in my deck right now. So I have 8 mana sources, and right now there's 26 cards. So all right, we're gonna cut Regrowth. I don't think Regrowth is particularly good in our deck. I think Toxic Deluge is probably a sideboard card. So is Skinrender. I think game 1, I want to have just cheap interaction, the cheap interaction of Diabolic Edict and the more powerful stuff like Consuming Vapors. Toxic Deluge is pretty bad if my opponent isn't just playing a really aggressive deck because I have a bunch of mana creatures. I don't want to kill them all. So this would have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This would have 17 land in it, along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a really, really mana heavy deck. But my deck is very high impact and expensive, so I can see maybe playing like one more spell. Maybe I do just want to play. I could play Regrowth. Maybe I can Regrowth. The fact that I can Regrowth fetch lands is actually kind of appealing. They can represent more than just something that's died. They can represent another mana source. I think that seems pretty good. Add lands. Suggest lands. I disagree with you. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sources of black already, so I need 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 sources of green. Alright, I think I actually want another forest. Because I didn't count Mox Jet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible sources of black. Combine groups. I don't know what that means. Sort by converted mana cost. Group creature separately. Oh, okay. That's kind of neat. You can look at your actual mana curve in terms of creatures. I don't have that many creatures. I have a lot of planeswalkers. And I do have some things that are pseudo creatures, but I don't actually have that many actual creature cards. Alright, I think this is pretty good. I think this looks sweet. We're not going to play any basic mountain, no reason to do that. Wait, this only has 15 land? How does this only have 15 land? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, oh, it has 15 land. Okay, no, yeah, it's 15 land and a Mox. So we have 16 zero-cost sources, and then these are all mana sources. So I think this is good. I think we're happy with this deck. I would love to have a little bit more ramp. You almost always want a little bit more ramp. If I had some sort of 2 mana rocks or something, that'd be great. But overall, I think this deck looks sweet, and I'm happy to play it. So let's do it.